Sup everybody, this is Karak with ACG and welcome to a general impressions video for Forza Horizon 4 and its demo that was released today for the Xbox and the PC. As always, if you like the video, maybe subscribe. And always remember to click that bell notification because otherwise it won't give you information about new videos I post. So the Forza Horizon 4 demo ended up going live this morning. This is a demo that is sort of a mixture of what we saw at past events where it switched the different seasons, but then it opens up and allows you to actually drive around for a bit, not only doing races, but just exploring if you want to. When it comes to graphics, you have the Xbox normal version, that's 30 FPS, no HDR, that kind of thing. Then you have the S version, which is going to have HDR, but pretty much be the same. And then you have the Xbox X, which allows for not only a 30 FPS version, but one of the firsts for this game on console, which is a 60 FPS version as well. On the PC, you'll be able to do whatever resolution that you want or choose to. This footage is going to be a split between the Xbox X as well as the PC. So let's just get into it. The first thing that's always asked about pretty much any racing game by a lot of people is, can it be played with controller? That doesn't mean can you plug it in and control the car? Of course you can. It really does mean if that level of fidelity is not as high because you're using a gamepad, will you still be able to, let's say, do quite well or do well against people with steering wheels or do well against the advanced AI when it's on its hardest? I do have to say this holds up about the same way as Forza Horizon 3 did, which is quite well. There's a couple options that you can choose, and right now they do have some things that look turned off. I didn't get a chance to put my steering wheel in, so I'm actually playing on the gamepad here, and it works very well. You can turn those options for the driving lines and everything on and off. But looking at the graphics for a second, I just have to say, the difference between the 30 FPS mode on the X and the 60 FPS mode, while noticeable, is not noticeable enough that I don't think most people are going to choose 60. Because also the location here has some moments that are very tight and require really good input and really fast reactions. And so for me, I personally feel the 60 FPS version is the way you're going to want to play this game. Also, of course, the game does have HDR, and the HDR absolutely pops. This is still one of the best replications of HDR that I've seen on a game so far, but additionally, it seems to have fixed some of that blown out highlight that you would get in Forza Horizon 3. There was a couple little issues there, depending on your settings, that could look a little wonky. That does not exist here. Instead, you get everything from the muted tones of a midnight ride in snow like this, all the way to the almost bleach tones of a bright day. Very well done. Incredible use of HDR here. Also, in a bit, we're going to look at the draw distance, which in the original Forza Horizon 3 was very well done. It had a really good draw distance. I swear to God, it's actually turned up a little bit here because the ability to see other cars at a great distance was actually quite impressive and allowed for me to choose to go off-road to maybe meet up with a car because I was trying to challenge them, to be honest, at the starting or otherwise. Now, when it comes to the demo, you can't challenge cars that are driving around. At least I haven't been able to, and I've played a couple hours. That's a little sad. But however, I really wasn't disappointed over the long period of time because what it does is it allows you to do those first couple seasons and then it opens up a little bit. Now, the seasons do have a bit of a load between them. This is something that everybody expected. It wasn't going to be automatic. They never said it was going to be. And of course, inside of the game world, when it's live, it's going to be even longer than the short amount of time here. Now, as you race, you, of course, get all kinds of accolades, the things that you would expect from a Forza game. Those are going to help you unlock cars and unlock new races. What would a Forza Horizon game be without a ton of terrain, and especially terrain deformation, which is something you absolutely see in any of the repeating circuit-like tracks that you end up going on. Let's take a small look at the replay system. So the replay system has a number of different cameras as well as the game cameras that you can switch between. You can also do a little bit of a rewind here and there. It's all the same stuff that you would expect in any Forza Horizon game. I did notice that we do have that absence of the corner cams, the race cams that just sort of sit on the side and watch as the cars go by. That's okay. Maybe it's something I missed or maybe they haven't added it yet. I would certainly like it in some of these races because I think that really does allow for some of the car details to pop. But overall, I was able to find some good camera angles, especially for the replays. And looking at the replays, I have to say, once again, we have that situation where the game looks so good in its normal gameplay that when you jump into those replays, you don't get that pop of detail that we get in a lot of games where suddenly it magically looks 50 times better. Instead here, it looks right on par with the game itself, maybe a little bit touched up, but still very well done. I love that you can see the body roll on the cars so well in these replays. I didn't even notice that when I was playing the game, but when you check that body roll, you can actually see them and what they're going to do. And that guy was going to cut in front of me. You could see that right away. Very well done, and really is one of those elements of graphics that at first you're just impressed it's done, and then you end up starting to use it in the races. When it comes to weather effects, I really liked them. Maybe it doesn't hold up to a game like Drive Club at 30 FPS, but at 60 FPS with these effects going on, whether it be rain or snow or sleet, it works really well. I love the water beads. All of them have that reflection of your tail lights going on in them if you look close. And any light that's actually on the screen that's bright, you'll see it during fireworks displays and at any other time that there's a lot of lighting going off. When you look at a racing game, though, there's nothing quite like driving a car around where you just say, fuck seatbelts, because if I'm going to crash this thing, there's no chance I'm living through it. And that, of course, is about sense of speed. Now, when you look at the sense of speed in the game, it starts out with a couple slow vehicles, so that sense of speed isn't really necessarily instant. A little bit later, you do end up getting some faster vehicles as you progress through the demo itself, and their sense of speed is pretty well done. I'll have to sort of see exactly how some of the faster cars handle. The couple that I did get looked about right, if sometimes actually a tad bit slow. One problem I had with the AI in particular in Forza Horizon 3 is that especially on particular difficulty levels, the game would just sort of give up right at the end. Not during the race, but right at the end, sort of pull some boneheaded moves. So I've been playing around a little bit to try to see if the game does that here. It doesn't seem to as much, which to me elevates this a great deal above Forza Horizon 3, because that was definitely something you would notice depending on who was playing, the difficulty, and just overall how everything was going in the race itself. I think it's time to sit back and listen to a little bit of the audio.
Calculating route. In 200 yards, turn right. Turn around when it is safe to do so.
When it comes to the audio, I was fine with it. It doesn't actually have 7.1 audio, and so adjusting that audio and getting it sort of dialed in did take a little while. Of course, you can hear some of the music as well. It just depends on how you're going to want to do it. I did listen to it a little bit without any music on. I think overall, you're going to get about the same soundscape as you got with Forza Horizon 3, but of course, this is the demo, and like I said, at least one option wasn't on. So that'll be up to you to decide how you liked Forza 3's audio demonstration, and if you were happy with that, you'll most likely be happy with this. Of course, what's sound without music? And I would say that overall, this is about the same level of sound, maybe with a little bit less of a cinematic flair than the original game had, than Forza Horizon had, which did have some of those more light, airy moments. This has a little bit more, I guess, in-your-face kind of tracks, but again, haven't been able to hear a bunch of those different tracks and where they're going to sort of align in their comparison to Forza Horizon 3. I'm going to continue to spend time with this. I have to say, it looks like it's offering a ton of gameplay. They've talked about their future plans for the game. Forza Horizon 4 in particular, I think a lot of people were very interested in how it was going to perform with that 60 FPS mode. And on the PC, I have to say that I have not received any stuttering. I know there was an issue with Forza Horizon 3 stuttering. Does that mean it's completely fixed? No, because I'm not everybody. There's going to be a lot of people out there with a lot of different systems testing this. But I do have to say, it seemed to work fine for me. Lastly, I just want to give my overall impressions of it, and that's the fact that it's already fun. It's already one of those games that I can see jumping in with a bunch of different patrons and exploring and playing around, and that cross-compatibility between the Xbox and the PC is only going to help in situations like this. It runs really well, even on the older system with the i7 and the 1070. You can see up in the top right the frame rate for the PC and its GPU utilization, and that is mostly on high or ultra settings at 4K. So on the PC, this thing seems to be running incredibly well. Overall, I just want to say thanks to everybody for watching these. I don't get a chance to do them a lot of times. There was a lot of different elements I want to look at. I'm a big Forza fan, so hopefully we do get another excellent title in this series, but of course, we'll have to wait until the full game comes out. Once again, this is available as a demo on the Xbox and on the PC from the Windows Store at this time. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'd like to know what you guys think after you've spent some time with it. What do you guys like? What versions do you like? What are you playing? What are you enjoying about it? So anyway, that's it for me. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Always, if you get a chance, subscribe. It absolutely helps the channel. Just getting people out there and talking about it and really enjoying content like this where we get to be excited about a new game. Peace out and enjoy the rest of your week.